What is up? Welcome to episode 22 of Fight Geeks.
Wow.
We're back. 22 weeks.
22 weeks in, more like 26.
Yeah, probably like 26. We missed a couple weeks, but...
25. Right? We only missed like 2 weeks.
Yeah, we missed like 2 or 3 weeks, but... we watched UFC London. Did you watch UFC London? Yesterday?
I watched some of it.
But UFC London was yesterday. We had Patty the Baddie, Molly the Meatball, Molly.
Oh,
and yeah, of course, obviously London knows how to put on a show. Started off with Paul Craig versus Ozdemir.
Who won that one?
Ozdemir.
Was that the one with like the crazy takedowns? Was that the flyweight matchup?
No, this was light heavyweight.
Okay.
Basically, Paul Craig, you know Paul Craig?
Yeah.
He was just trying ground game the whole fight.
Oh, I remember this because I saw DC's tweet about it.
Yeah, it was the first fight. And, yeah, Paul Craig literally didn't want to do anything like stand up.
Yeah, I heard Paul Craig was not trying to stand up and he was losing the fight because he tried to pull guard every time, but he was losing, so there was no point of keeping on doing it. And it was the third round and he kept on doing it.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. So Paul Craig... And someone commented on my TikTok, they were like, this is just what happens when you're a one-sided fighter. And I was like, facts. So...
Yeah, when you get stuffed...
I actually had Paul Craig on my predictions, too, for some reason.
When you get stuffed at what you're good at, you're screwed. That's why
true.
Fighters like John Jones and elite strikers are the best.
Then after that, we had Molly McCann versus Hannah Goldie. And Molly McCann just had easy work of...
Damn near a double spinning knockout in a row. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, stunned with the spinning.
She got hurt with the overhand right. Stunned, rocked with the spinning.
Yeah, that knocked her over, and then just finished. Some people were saying it's kind of a late stoppage because she was getting clobbered on the
arguable.
ground.
Because she totally ate that overhand and she totally ate the elbow. It was the fact she wasn't really defending herself after that, and that's why you had to call it. But like, she was still up on her feet. I mean, if she was flat on her back, the fight would have been called immediately. But she was up. I mean... Look at the Charles Oliveira Chandler fight.
Look at the Tuivasa Lewis fight.
You see the comebacks. You just.
But yeah, Molly McCann.
It's hard to be a ref in there in that situation, you know. But once you see too much, you see too much. God.
She
wasn't a bad.
I don't know. Like maybe someone ranked as next for her. I mean, you obviously just saw her last 2 fights were just. They look like pretty easy work.
Notice how the ones that are always built like this call me racist or call me sexist. But the ones that are always built like men are the fucking goats. Chris Seibel, Amanda Nunes, Molly McCann. They just don't look like girls, essentially. They're just ripped.
Like the stereotypic girl.
Yeah,
girl,
nothing
right?
wrong with being ripped, but like, or a masculine face, but at the same time.
Yeah, they're just like beasts.
Yeah, they're not.
But yeah, so that fight was lit. After that, I think we just saw possibly Gustafsson's last fight. He took a beating in round 1.
Yeah, he used to have a chin. He used to be able to eat those shots. Instead, it was just a sad fight. Honestly, he should just hang him up. He's looking like Cerrone out
DC
here.
tweeted just hang him up.
He's looking like Cerrone out here. Just losing his last whatever. He's considered the best to do it without winning the belt.
The best probably is that best John Jones' best competition, maybe.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, in the first fight.
Yeah.
That's how they
It wasn't like arguable, I guess, kind of.
No, what was arguable? It wasn't arguable. It was arguable. Not as arguable as John Jones versus Dominic Reyes, but it was arguable.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of.
You'd think of it on the same side of looking at it. You'd look at it like, I think John won, but I'm okay. Or no, you'd say I think Alex won, but I'm okay that John won. The Dominic Reyes won, I look at it as like Dominic Reyes won. I don't know how that's up. So like, it wasn't arguable, but John Jones got tested in those first 2 rounds. It was bloody.
Yeah, I mean they were showing Gustafsson highlights before he was working people like
Gustafsson
in his prime.
He's got his highlights. But,
so yeah, after that was Patty versus Jordan.
Teabag
versus Twerk.
Teabag versus Twerk. I was low-key rooting for the Twerk.
I was rooting for Teabag.
I mean, I was obviously rooting for Patty, but like to see Patty get twerked on would have been hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, arguably, I think Patty lost the first round.
Even
though
didn't get to see
it was close because literally.
Were they striking?
No, Jordan Levitt really just kind of had him against the fence the whole time.
Yeah, so he lost the first round.
Just trying to take him down. I actually want to go back to the Molly McCann fight. She has a great takedown defense, bro.
Especially,
like
yeah, 'cause she's
Hannah
built like
Goldie
man.
tried to
There's-
take her down. She just hopped on one foot, back, and then got back on her feet.
Yeah, their stuffs are crazy.
Like, that shit
when
was
they're
lit.
built like that, it's just crazy.
But yeah, Paddy the Baddy, he got the submission. He was honestly, it was kind of like he almost had the submission like in the first round. He kind of was just going for that, I think, because Jordan just wanted to keep it on the ground. But yeah, overall it was dope seeing Paddy back in the octagon.
Such a sick fighter. He was very emotional. You know, he's very well hiding his emotions and just sticking to like.
Yeah, his friend
being
passed
that
away.
guy, being like a
The
fan.
morning of the weigh-ins, his friend
You didn't
passed
hear her
away.
complain about it all until the lead up. Like maybe he's had a thing or two. I mean, clearly not mainstream because I didn't hear it. All I heard was teabag, twerk, hyping up the fight, right? And then you see his emotions after the fight. It's like I've never seen Paddy the Baddy cry.
Yes, because he said right before the day of the weigh-ins, he woke up to a message that his friend killed himself.
And that kid that died that he brought to his last
and the
fight.
kid.
That was at the last fight.
Yeah, so respect to Baddy for speaking that, using the platform for that. That was dope. And then next up, we had...
Tom Aspinall.
Well, we actually had Luke Hermanson versus Chris Curtis.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Which
that fight.
Hermanson just honestly just showed he was a better striker. Curtis couldn't really get anything through. And yeah, Hermanson just worked him, basically. But then at the end, literally, Chris Curtis, like, there was like 10 seconds left, right? Hermanson, basically, he already won it. He didn't have to do anything. And then when it ended, Chris Curtis gave him the double bird. And then he, like, mocked him by running around the octagon. It's like... But they made amends after, I guess. But it was just funny to see that. It's like, bro, you lost. Like, he's obviously not going to, like...
There's no... I'm not... I agree with you there. I'm like one of those people that... Even if you won in the bitchest way possible, you can't mock him if you lost.
Yeah. But yeah, then the main event. It was very hype. So much hype going into this fight. Obviously, Tom Aspinall, I guess he's been training, like, with a bunch of different, like,
dude, the first
skills.
15 seconds of this fight were crazy.
I know.
Like, I was watching an action-packed fight, and we saw,
we thought we were in for a treat, but, fortunately, Aspinall's knee couldn't hold up after that kick.
When you're a superhuman athlete like MMA fighters or any, like, top sport athlete, your body's just not built for that.
It's just like what we saw to Rakic against Jan.
Like, as much,
similar,
yeah, exactly.
but
as much as these guys are in the best shape of their life and in 10 times better shape than I ever will be, it's like their bodies are so much more prone to injury than mine. Like,
that's
like,
true.
As unlucky as it is, like, they're going to get injured way easier than me. Like, most of these players barely have any scar tissue left. You know, they get hit in the leg 24/7. They spar.
Training, sparring, fighting, yeah.
So, like, their bodies, as healthy as they are, their bodies are...
So that was honestly kind of sad.
Sometimes.
I do hope they run it back because they did. There's a photo of them on our story. They were just chilling after the fight, kind of just talking. So that was cool to see.
Having a beer. Although, I don't agree with Chris Curtis. What's his name? Chris Blades?
Curtis Blades.
Curtis Blades being a pussy. I do see what he's saying, but this is something you don't say out loud. This is something you keep to yourself. He's like, I don't see a need for a rematch. I'm not trying to lose my spot in the rankings. I'd rather just fight the next opponent. That counts as a win for me. I keep my rankings. So I get that. Everyone's going to go out of their... Jan, obviously, when that dude bled his knee, whether he was winning that fight or not, what is he thinking? He's thinking the exact same thing. But did he go out and tweet some dumb shit? Like, I don't see a need for rematch. I want my win. That I don't want to be taken away from my ranking. Like, first of all, that sounds like you thought you were going to lose the fight. And second of all, just don't... Yeah. Obviously, that's like a known fact. Just keep it to yourself, though. Don't publicly say that you don't see a need for a rematch. Because, like, anyone in their right mind would be like, rematch.
Yeah, so if they do rematch...
Even though it rarely ever happens.
Or if they don't rematch, we'll have Curtis Blades versus
Gon. Well, the problem with that is we're 100% not going to see a rematch. The only time you see a rematch in injury fights like that is against two big stars, like Conor Poirier.
True.
Like when Conor... Well, even though Conor didn't get injured, Conor lost, and it was automatically run it back. When fighters that aren't really...
So I guess Tom Aspinall might just fight loser of Tuivasa again.
Something like that. He's definitely stay up there.
But
they're not just going to, like, obviously give him a better fight.
Yeah.
But they'll give him a good fight.
So yeah, UFC London was fire again. Honestly, I don't know. It's just like weird. Like, doesn't even feel like real when you're watching UFC at like 2 o'clock. You know what I mean?
I know. That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't feel
really
like
normal. We're going to have
normal.
to have it dirty for Abu Dhabi.
I know.
It's fucked. What time is the main card start? 2 p.m.
Something like that.
That's
yeah. It just doesn't feel like normal watching UFC that early. At least for the East Coast, obviously
it's
for
gonna fuck with the
people around the world.
Pay-per-view guys for sure.
Probably, yeah.
For the U.S.
I mean, yeah. Besides, like, the fans, but yeah.
Like, I'm not even... That's going to screw, like, at least 100K out of them, right? Like, has to.
Depends, though, because...
America just aren't dark.
Because I know, like, people go hard, like London, like, obviously you're not going to get a lot of pay-per-view buys in London at these 10 p.m.s. Maybe now we'll get 200K
they're probably hyped from this card.
Just from Abu Dhabi,
they're probably hyped for this card. They're like, let's go. We don't have to stay up for once, even though it's still going to be like 10 p.m. where they live. But like, yeah, that's actually, that might be right. It might just even out. Or maybe it'll help it do it better. Because, you know, us Americans are kind of wild. Like, we're still going to be watching it. And people in London, like, it's not like it's, yeah, it's going to be early.
The real fans watch it, yeah.
It's literally only better. Maybe it'll be better. Maybe Dana White's testing this. You've never seen a crazy card in 2 p.m. I mean, the UFC London was, but that wasn't even like a card. I'm talking like, they haven't had this stacked of a card.
Yeah, this is insane for 2 p.m.
The time zone was like...
We might have to go to Abu Dhabi.
Shit, let's go. That's crazy.
Dude, I think Abu Dhabi's like a 24-hour
flight. If our podcast just popped off and we become like YouTubers, like, we can literally go to every UFC game.
I don't know. One of these years, we're going to be at UFC London. Not sure which year, but one of these years. But next week, well, not next week, this weekend is the rematch, Pena versus Nunes.
Where are you going for that?
I'm going Pena.
I'm going...
Actually,
I have to go Nunes.
Yeah, I rooted for Pena in the first fight. I think I'm gonna go with Nunes for my prediction.
Wait, you went with Pena the first fight?
Yeah.
Really?
I was pissed because I couldn't like bet money on it. I knew I was like Pena's winning this shit.
Dude,
like,
here's my thing about these two fighters. I feel like Pena is such more of like a...
Like, I don't have that feeling that Pena's gonna win it this time.
Pena has like that such like fighter mentality like that most fighters have. Like they fought from nothing, now they're just fighting and they grind so hard for that. Amanda Nunes on the other hand, I feel like she's just chilling. Woman built like just a beast.
She still has a belt.
Goes out there and fights with like no regard. She doesn't really like have that same mentality as Pena. I think like it's such an interesting fight, but I still think Nunes takes it just because she's built different.
Yeah, I think Nunes is going to take the belt back.
Because if you saw the first fight, Nunes was piecing her up. The thing was, is Nunes usually knocks people out.
Juliana caught a beating that fight.
I think Juliana, like, you can argue, like, she still ate mad shots that Nunes knocked every single other opponent out, but I think all she has to do is catch Pena one way, and it'll be over this time. I think Pena got very lucky that she even survived that fight. Like, the onslaught of Nunes, I think Amanda Nunes... She was landing. I think now you're going to see her land. She's going to strike faster, and I think she'll finish.
Alright, so then we got...
Also, I don't know if you saw, the only reason Pena won this fight is because Amanda Nunes gave up. It wasn't
she didn't want to get
She didn't outfight her. Amanda Nunes, as soon as that fight went to the ground, and she got the slightest, she tapped. There was no...
That's kind of like what Jan did against...
yes, there was no attempting to get out. She lost because she gave up. I think if she learns not to give up, and, you know, I think it'll be done. But...
And then we got actually an interim title fight. Moreno versus Cara France for the flyweight.
I'm going Cara France to see him as the new champ, only because I don't see... Brandon Moreno does not leave his hands up, and it looks like Fergahudu, whatever his name is, he's like got the same skill set damn near as Brandon Moreno, unless it goes to the ground. And like I feel like he's scared of Brandon Moreno, and I feel Cara France is better than both of them at striking. Maybe not ground game, but yeah, I see Cara France being the champ, so...
Yeah, same. So that'd be cool, interim title fight. Then we got, look who's making a comeback, Derek Lewis versus Sergey Pavlovich.
We're going Derek Lewis, guys.
Or Pavlovich.
This is the longest we haven't seen Derek Lewis in a fight. Want to know why? Because when you get knocked out, it's an automatic 6-month suspension. So you get 6 months suspension, then you have to go through a training camp that gives you like at least a 9-month layoff.
Yeah, I mean it's been since, when was that Tuivasa fight? Was that on? Was that on Poirier Oliveira?
I think so. That's so long.
That was December. So yeah. I'm going with Lewis all the way. I believe Sergey Pavlovich is the person who beat Greg Hardy in his last
fight. Being a UFC fan, time goes by quicker. You just like see like,
yeah, it does.
Oh shit, when's the last time Derek Lewis fought? Oh, 9 months ago. Remember 9 months ago, or like 6 months ago, 8 months ago. Remember how we watched like Derek Lewis's last like 5 fights and he was fighting. Now that makes it like,
he fought.
Like it's probably been over a year.
Yeah, he fought a lot.
Dude, it's probably been over a year since we first said this dude's so active.
No, I think that was December when he was main event against Dawkins.
Yeah, we were talking about how active he was. That's still so long, man. That's crazy.
That might have been. Yeah, that's crazy. And then I'm not too familiar with these guys. Alex Perez, Alexandre Pantoja, flyweights. You know?
No, we can.
We're gonna skip that. But then we got light heavyweight. I'm familiar with these guys. Anthony Lionheart Smith, right? That's his nickname. Okay. And then Magomed Enclave.
Unfortunately, I have to root with the guy that's not named Lion Smith.
Yeah, I'm going with Magomed
Only
Ankalaev,
because
and I think he's going to get the title
I'm
shot
a counter
after
guy,
Yan.
and this guy messed up. Like, this is why they should not have certain. Just like it's so annoying to me that any fighter gets to just go and hop in the commentary booth. Like if someone's missing, they'll just throw someone like Anthony Smith in there. And Anthony Smith was
with Michael
reporting.
Bisping's
It was Max
podcast.
Holloway versus I believe it was either Yair Rodriguez or Calvin Kattar, and either way, in one of those fights, it was Bilal Muhammad and Anthony Smith. They were reporting for it, and these boys said Max Holloway ended the streak of Jose Aldo's 10 undefeated reign. Like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, how were you just that wrong? It's Conor McGregor when he knocked him out in the fastest title shot, knockout in 13 seconds. And they said they had a nerve to say Max Holloway ended the streak. Like, so I just have to root against him. But
yeah, I'm going to go with Magomed Ankalaev. And then after that, we have a canceled bout, unfortunately. Paulo Costa was supposed to fight Rockhold. It got canceled.
When?
On this card.
Why?
I don't know. Let's see what it says. Let's see. News.
How did I not hear about this? What the frick? I was so hyped to see Paulo Costa fight again. This is sad.
Oh, they rescheduled it for 278.
Oh, word. That's weird.
So that's on the Usman card.
Word.
And then, yeah, so that's going to be hype.
What did I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about Abu Dhabi. Because I don't think we talked to them since Oliveira Charles, did we? I think we told them about Charles Oliveira last week, right? Charles Islam? Or no?
Yeah, the official announcement?
So they heard about that. But they didn't hear about Jan versus Sean O'Malley.
I'll just pull up the full card that we got so far.
What do you guys think about this? I need you guys' thoughts. Peter Yan O'Malley. This is a win-win for O'Malley. Unless you're a hater, because obviously a hater's going to hate. Like, you see someone like Nate Diaz has 14 losses, but no one cares, right? Someone like Conor has 5 losses. Every time he loses, it's a huge scenario. Everyone, like, hates on him. Every time he loses, he's like, he sucks now, blah, blah, blah. So, obviously, if Sean O'Malley loses this fight, classic haters will be like, haha, he lost, not undefeated, this, that. But from, like, an actual, not just a casual standpoint, because, you know, I consider myself a casual and not a casual, because I like fighters like Sean O'Malley, Conor McGregor, all the hype fighters, I'm there. Like, Sean O'Malley saying he's undefeated, I'm there.
Patty.
Yeah,
people
Patty,
will be like, how do you like Patty?
Like,
it's like, he's a dope-ass dude.
People be like, you're casual if you like Patty, Sean O'Malley, Conor. It's like, okay. But, like, not really. But either way, it's a win-win because if he loses to someone like Jan's a killer, dude. Sean O'Malley was just went from fighting nobodies to the best, to, like, literally the best striker.
Yeah.
Arguably champ in some people's eyes just because after that last fight, how boring is. Like, Sean O'Malley, or Alderman didn't put on an entertaining bout. Peter Yan goes out there and tries to kill you and puts on like some crazy striking. So if O'Malley loses this fight, not that big a deal, right? He'll just go fight some lower ranked fighters again, even probably better than the ones he was fighting before, because the gap between the fighters he was just fighting to Yan is like insane.
Dude, and Sean is bigger than Yan, bro.
So
Sean is like a giant to Yan, low key.
He's not a giant.
Look,
he's skinny as fuck.
Check out the
height difference is huge, but not
yeah.
the fucking chiseled. Jan's fucking chiseled.
About 4 inches taller. The reach, 5 inches more.
So do you agree with me when I say it's a win-win? Because you beat Yan, oh my god,
it is a win-win.
You arguably get a title shot, and if you lose against him, okay, you just lost to the...
Depending on how you lose. If he gets knocked out in like the first round...
best striker in the... if he got knocked out...
If he puts up a good fight, then yeah, it's a win-win.
Like if he survives a round, it's a win-win.
I think he has a chance, though, with his distance. I think that's going to... His kick distance...
I think he does too, but... Alright, so...
And his
you can compare Yan,
striking distance.
It's going to be such a tough one, because Yan... In Sean O'Malley's last fight, which he was winning the second round of... I don't think he lost the first, only because the judging said that he landed like 27 of those 30 leg kicks. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, Pedro.
And he landed 0 face strikes, 0 body shots. Think about when you're going in to fight Yan, he's not going to land 0 face shots and 0 body shots.
True.
That's just not going to happen. It doesn't matter how tall you are, but you're not going to... Jan's not just going to not land on you. So, we're in for a fight. I think we might see a knockout. It could be a very technical, like, 3-round bout, but I honestly see...
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a knockout,
I don't think Jan's going to let Sean O'Malley set the pace. Because Sean O'Malley should be the one that's more technical, kind of like fighting like Izzy, like on the outskirts, just trying to win the fight. But someone like Yan, he's going to bring it to. They're not like how a lot of Izzy opponents just let him win. They don't change up anything. They just had one game plan, and that was it. And then they go and lose the fight. Jan's known for losing the first 2 rounds and then absolutely switching the whole game plan in round 3, 4, 5 and winning. So we're in for a knockout. But Jan's a slow starter. So this could be good for O'Malley in a 3-round fight. There hasn't been a round where Jan's really won the first round. But he's just a killer. All of a sudden, when he fought Corey Sandhagen, possibly one of the fights of the year, I'm not even sure.
Jan versus Corey Sandhagen.
It was an absolute 5-round war. Jan lost the first two easily. People were like, "Oh my god, Jan's gonna lose." All of a sudden, 3-4-5 turned up, completely switched up the game plan, and won all the last.
I mean, that's kind of.
And everyone was like,
that's what even happened in the last.
Everyone was
fight.
like, "Wow, Chad looked so great."
Because wasn't round one the arguable one with Sterling?
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Like that was like the one decider. It was either round 1 or round 5.
It was round 1.
Yeah, because it was like if Jan won round 1, then he won the fight. But if he lost round 1, then he lost the fight or something.
Which is why people say like he's champ in his eyes. Because imagine you're in a real life threat, right? And like Aljamain has your back like that, and you're in a 4-minute street fight and you can't do anything from it. If you're in a 4-minute street fight of straight striking, someone's gonna get fucking hurt. You know, Jan was just defending his neck the whole 4 minutes, and then they got up. In a street fight, what is he just gonna infinitely defend himself? In the striking, that's not gonna happen. So that's why Jan's arguably champ.
Yeah, so that's not till
but
October.
So he's not. Like, in my eyes, obviously.
That's going to be hype. And October's probably just going to come so fast for some reason.
Right.
That's just how time
So is it only Nunes before that card?
Nope. There's 278, which is Usman. Leon, 279, which is Diaz, Kamzat. And then, yeah.
I feel like Michael
And then
Chandler,
281 is Cyril Gane, Tuivasa.
Michael Chandler said?
So, yeah, the rest of the year is actually pretty good.
Michael Chandler was talking about there's some news coming out soon. It might be Dustin Poirier and me. I feel like that's such cap because, like, no one in the fighting in the UFC ever has... Like, they've said who it's going to be, but no one said I have some news coming out. It's going to be this and that. I think Chandler's capping because he knows Poirier wants to fight. But Chandler just said, like, a week ago... Yeah,
are you even allowed to do that?
Exactly. Chandler also said, like, a week ago, he was like, beefing with me is not a way to get a fight with me. So I think he's just trolling that to get Dustin Poirier's head because Dustin Poirier probably wanted that fight. You know, Poirier doesn't want to fight too much longer, get a few money fights. You got the 2 counter fights. Chandler would be a huge fight. I think Chandler knows, like, any fight he gets is a money fight. And, like he said, beefing's not a way to get a fight with him, so why would he fight Poirier?
There was some... Well, there was Beneil Dariush rumors, but that's done with... I don't even know how that came out. That would have been the weirdest...
Give Chandler, like, Gaethje.
That would have been the weirdest fight.
Give him, like...
The rematch, Gaethje Chandler?
What can you even give him? I mean, that would be a good fight, but that only if it makes sense. Who else is in the
Fiziev, maybe.
Fiziev, that would be a good fight.
Fiziev Chandler?
Because Fiziev isn't too much of a good fighter, so Chandler fought him, get some eyes on him. Because no one really knows who Fiziev is. Like, I know about him, but barely, you know?
Yeah.
So if we get some eyes on him, that'd be nice. That's actually a good fight. They should do that. Or they should... Who should Poirier fight, then? Shit, if it's not Chandler, who's Poirier fighting? He's got to fight someone like Beneil. Maybe let the Beneil fight go off and see who wins that. Just because as irrelevant as Beneil is, like...
He's fighting Gamrot.
He's good. Like... But then again, you don't want to give one of your stars to, like, a shitter, low-key. Because that makes it just... Like, when Conor versus...
That's why I feel like Dustin kind of has to move out. Like... Not has to, but, like...
There's way more
it just
fights.
makes the most sense.
Like, giving Jorge or something, that'd be a good fight. That'd be a cool fight. Although, Jorge's on his way out. Dude, all of our stars are going.
I know.
We got, like...
Probably in, like, 2 years, there'll be a whole, like, new... Like, you wouldn't even recognize it.
I hate when people say there's going to be another Conor. There won't be another Conor. There won't be another... There'll be another John Jones. The next John Jones, guys, is 12 years old right now. In his basement, hitting flying knees and all those. We don't know it yet, but we'll see it. The next Khabib's probably, like, 15.
Next Khabib's in the UFC. Right?
Yeah, I was going to say, the next Khabib's, like, already in the UFC.
Yeah, there's, like, 10 Khabib's in the UFC. Like, in, like, every division.
There's going to be a lot of Khabib's. It's going to be a lot of Khabib's.
I mean, there's already a light heavyweight, Russian. Freaking Magomed Enclave.
This is good, dude. Wait till the heavyweights get cracked at wrestling. Someone's gonna break an arm.
Yeah,
so
if there's
fast.
a heavyweight Dagestani.
Dude, as soon as you get an armbar in heavyweight, it's broken.
Dude, that's what they were saying about freaking Kamzat, that he could go up to heavyweight.
He probably could.
They said welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight for Kamzat. Because that's what
wait, did we? Yo, I don't think we talked about that. Ooh, Nate Diaz Hamzat. That fight.
Yeah, it's official now.
That fight should not have happened. You can, like... Alright, so here's how I see it. You could say the Sean O'Malley Peter Yan fight shouldn't happen, and you could say the Hamzat Diaz fight shouldn't happen. But at least the O'Malley one somewhat makes sense. This one makes no sense.
Because like, basically Bantamweight is booked. It's like besides Yan and Sean O'Malley. So it's just like, fuck it.
They're just feeding Nate Diaz to a straight shark. But I have seen some things, like, it's absolutely perfect when Nate Diaz wins. It's like the biggest fuck you in the UFC. This is like when he beat Conor off his reign. Like, Conor just defeated... This is when Conor... Right after Conor knocked out Jose Aldo in 13 seconds, the 10-year undefeated champion, #1 pound for pound, all of a sudden he just knocked him out, and then he went and lost to Nate Diaz. Like, it was the biggest, like, fuck you to your star. And then, but Conor, if you thought about it, Nate Diaz really was the biggest, like, threat to Conor. Because
so maybe Nate Diaz can pull it off again.
Conor has 1 to 2 rounds in him, and you put him in there against someone who can't get knocked out. What are you supposed to do? But, yeah, Nate Diaz, but I don't see how, like, no, this isn't good.
Yeah, I mean, against...
Is it a 5?
Yeah,
I think
it's going to be 5.
Oh, my fuck.
It's going to be a main event.
Wow, we're about to see Nate Diaz get knocked out for the first time. I don't think he's going to get knocked out.
Dude, I don't even know if... Khamzat better be working on cardio, too, though. He was gassed in that 3-rounder with Burns. Remember that?
Yeah, and I still don't think Nate Diaz would knock him out in the 4th. But I think I could see it be, like, maybe towards, like, Leon Edwards, where, like, oh, Khamzat's gassed. But there's no... Khamzat's going to be able to eat a few more shots from Nate Diaz. And he ate those from Gilbert.
And I mean, he's obviously working on what he didn't do in the Burns fight, so...
I mean, how do you prepare for Nate Diaz? I don't even know. You would just go there and punch him for the first 3 rounds and hope you knock him out. Like, what is that all? Like, what are you supposed to actually do? Like, this kid, you can't knock him out damn near. The reason I say he can't get knocked down, probably won't get knocked down until he retires, like, I think Khamzat might get a stoppage, but no way no one knocks him out clean. Jorge landed, like, a 1-2 hook and dropped Nate Diaz, and on his way down, he landed a head kick. And Nate Diaz was just trying to get
That's nasty.
Out. And then the doctor stopped the fight, but... Yeah, so that fight's going to be brutal. If Nate Diaz somehow wins, though, somehow...
I'll be rooting for him, probably.
I'm rooting for Nate Diaz all the way.
Oh, yeah. That'll be hype.
And then Nate Diaz walks out of the UFC. That'd be amazing.
Beating Khamzat just leaves the UFC.
And Fred Strickland beats him. No, but I was actually talking about this Conor one time. I couldn't see Nate Diaz in boxing gloves and boxing shorts. But he now look funny
He has
as
a
hell.
picture.
No way.
Yeah.
He now look funny as fuck.
He was doing, like, training or something for it.
Does he look funny?
Kinda, yeah. I don't remember where the photo was, but... Guys, quick little intermission. Shout out to Buffalo F for sending me this shirt. When we make shirts, we got you, bro.
My Nate Diaz looks low-key kind of sick. Boxing gloves. I thought he would look funny for some reason with his weird ass fucking shape of the body.
But yeah, next week, guys, we're gonna be doing interviews of who's winning in the Jake Paul Hasim Rahman Jr. fight.
Guys, next week we're gonna be in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, we're gonna be in Abu Dhabi interviewing Abu Dhabi citizens. Yeah. No. But yeah, we're gonna be doing some predictions for that next week because
we're going on a trip to the Bahamas.
Yeah, we're going on a trip. We're gonna be bringing the cam with us to. Obviously, we'll actually be able to review UFC 277 because I'm thinking if we do it on Sunday.
Is this gonna be another Hammered pod?
I mean, if we do it on Sunday.
What episode was that?
At Lucas's house.
13. I think it was 13.
That was 9. At Lucas's house with Dalton, yeah.
That's wild.
That was 9. So yeah, we're gonna be doing. Or next week, you guys will see the review of 277, Jake Paul versus Hasim Rahman Jr. predictions. Plus, it's going to be a whole new... You're not going to see this background next week. Or next episode, I guess.
We're going to find the nicest spot of the house and or the outside. With the audio, depending on how bad the audio would be outside. And we're just going to set it up.
Set it up. Make some clips. So yeah, we will... I think that's really it for this week.
Yeah.
UFC London was dope. UFC 277 doesn't look the most appealing, but you never know. UFC 275 surprised us. Could see something crazy next weekend. So,
I agree.
See you guys in episode 23. Peace.